Hello. Just want to start this by saying that there's one thing I've learned by being in Object Show Twitter, and that is that people have, believe it or not, opinions. And while it's okay to have your own opinions about what you like, what you don't like, I think it gets really exhausting to see people hating on something and then see people hating on those people who hate on something, and then seeing people who hate on those people who hate on those people. And it just gets to a point where really I'd prefer just seeing more positivity out there. And that is exactly why I'm making this video of 5 BFDI characters I want to like more. Now, this list is going to contain mostly characters who I'm not too fond of, who I would like to like more. But there is one character who I already like and would like to see more of because I'm not really happy with how they're going right now. And as a disclaimer, obviously this is my opinion. This is a subjective list. I do have a kind of script helping me out with this one. However, most of this is just going to be me kind of waffling. So, you're free to disagree with me, and if we're being honest, I'd rather disagree with myself on these on these characters. But we'll just get straight into it. And as a fun bonding exercise, Dora is in my top 10 characters. Anyways, first off, we got 8-Ball, who is my second to least favorite character. I've already made a video talking about why I don't really like his character and how I would change it. But to summarize it, I just never really liked his favorite number gimmick, and to be honest, I don't really know anyone who finds it funny or entertaining in the slightest. And any semblance of a good character with him kind of just got ruined after his whole leadership thing with Golf Ball, where he just did the opposite of her, which was just very annoying, to be honest. And when I made that 8-Ball video a year ago, I was kind of dead set on 8-Ball being my least favorite my least favorite contestant. But it wasn't until Teapot 15 Stinger with him and Fiery where I was kind of like, maybe he could be better. And, just after thinking about that for a while, it made me kind of realize that I think I would like 8-Ball more if I just saw him interact with more characters. Because BFDI, while having a large cast, doesn't really have many interactions with a good chunk of the cast. You don't really get to see that many diverse interactions with people. It's more just like the same kind of dynamics here and there. And that's not horrible. I just wish we got to see more people talk to more people. They could use his deadpan yet emotional kind of side, or maybe they could go back to his little mischievous personality he had during BFB 3 and 4. But generally, I just like to see him talk to more characters. And while I think that him being in Teapot is not going to really make him like him all much better, maybe bump him up like a few tiers, maybe I'll think he's tolerable as a character. I just want to see him more. And it doesn't have to be in Teapot, because Teapot's way of handling stories has kind of been a mixed bag for me. I just would like to see how they go on with him. Anyway, speaking of Teapot and BFB, on our second spot of the list, we got Lai. And I just want to start off by saying that I do actually like Lai. I liked her before Teapot, and when she joined, I think it was really cool seeing her have a friendship with Pen and see her supporting him, because it really shows her sign of growth from the exit. And while it wasn't like this scene and the other scene in Teapot 17 where she's like watching him kind of supporting Pencil or something like that, giving a talk to Pencil. Like, while those scenes aren't really character defining moments for Lai, they're good scenes for her to just like kind of be involved in, because you just gotta have her be involved in stuff right now. My main problem with her right now is Death Pact, because in Teapot 17, she didn't have a lot of screen time, and the most notable moment for her, for me at least, was when she accused Black Hole of sabotaging her and then died literally 2 seconds after. I just don't like her little one-sided beef with Death Pact, because number one, it's one-sided. You don't really get a lot of entertainment out of that. And number two, Death Pact has just had so much to do this season, and while I think it's stupid to not have her do anything with Death Pact, because, that was her team in BFB, I just think it's not very entertaining to see her do her whole like, oh, you're sabotaging me, I don't like you kind of whole thing, because it's just annoying. I'd much rather see her and Death Pact have this gradual creation of trust rather than just have her be in a whole misunderstanding with them. And if we're being real here, she hasn't done all too much either. Like, I've had fun with her. I think she has had a few good lines. I do say I'm on my next adventure every now and then, but I really wish they explored like her more rageful side more, or maybe even her alleged dark past that she had, because currently the most screen time she's really had is Teapot 11. And I don't like the episode. I think that they don't really characterize much of the Exeters very well. It's kind of just a simple point A to point B kind of episode, and they don't really use the characters in the exit very well here. And side note, I just want to say, from the voting of the Exeters to join Teapot, I find it kind of weird how Lai got almost 5,000 more votes than Pencil, yet Pencil is doing way more than her. That's not to say that I don't like how Pencil's being written. I do think that they're on the right track with her. I just think that it's weird how she's been getting more attention than Lai, despite getting very much less votes than her. Number 3 is Loser. I don't hate Loser either, believe it or not. I don't even dislike him. But I do find how he's been written very aggravating, to be honest. I think it's very clear that when you introduce a character that the viewers do not know, but are apparently adored by the rest of the cast, and you do this in a vote to eliminate environment, that kinda just is a recipe for him to be immediately eliminated, which, believe it or not, is exactly what happens. While that's a problem in and of itself, just because, like, why would you do that? That's not my main problem with him. My main problem with him is in post-split, and he's far and away the main problem I have with post-split, but I do think it was just a very bad idea to not only let him just randomly join the season, like not even without a vote or anything, just let him join just cuz, but also just write him to be very egotistical, which isn't how I really saw how he was characterized in BFB 1 to 7. I mean, sure, he definitely likes having people love him, but I never took it the way Post-Split did, where that's just kind of his whole character, you know, wanting to be loved by people and being loved, you know. I know it's just like 2 scenes, one of which doesn't really lead anywhere, but when you go from the BFB 7 stinger...
Guys, thank you for doing your best to make me feel welcome. I know it didn't last long, but I'm gonna miss what we did together.
To, oh, I just know I'm gonna be safe because I'm so famous, so famous. It's like, it just becomes really clear that they don't really have any idea what Loser really is. And while my perspective could be a bit off on Loser's character, BFB 1 to 7 Loser definitely felt like someone who loved being loved and sought after, but at the same time loved having genuine relationships with people. And his speech in BFB 7 presents him as someone who didn't really see his team as just fans, but rather friends he gets to play with. And I really appreciated hearing that from him. And if he stayed that way, you know, like basking in his fame while still being a genuine person, I would like him just so much more than I do now. Unfortunately, what we have of Loser right now is just him being a loser. And as a side note, I don't think that Loser is 100% evil because of what he did to Winner. Of course, he's not a saint for just doing it, like just continuing their career without telling them and completely abandoning his best friend. But it's not like he hated Winner or anything. The cereal thing is also whatever, I guess. Number 4 and 5 is going to be Bubble and Match. And I was gonna talk about them individually at first, but while I am going to do that for about like maybe 30 seconds each, they have kind of the same root problem for me. To start off with Bubble, I've never really cared for her, mostly because I joined during 2020, so I kind of just blitzed through season 1, which she was good at, but in BFB, she didn't really get much to do, considering in post-split they set up a few things but never really went through with any of them. And then also a certain BFB 11 had something else to say about that. But that's besides the point. Just to summarize it for her, she didn't do a lot, and that resulted in her being eliminated. And as for Match, Same thing, I never really cared for her. She's always kind of been my least favorite Free Smarter. Maybe because she was eliminated the moment the team was conceived, and the very little amount of time we had with her after the fact was just not very appealing. But then she got into BFB and she started to have her own little story with Bubble, and she started to like have her own character outside of Pencil. And then you get a really good scene in BFB 11 where Bubble confronts Match as a friend, and she's worried that the competition might be getting like way too in her head, which it is. So, you know, we have all of this, right? And then we have Madge, who's been confronted for being mean and hasn't had time to redeem herself yet. And then you put her team up for elimination. And then very predictably, she gets eliminated. And my only question to that is, why? Why? Why would you do this? Why would you put this team up for elimination in BFB 11, the same episode where Bubble confronts Madge and is clearly setting her up to become a better person? Especially when you have 7 other teams that you could put up for elimination. You have so many other teams you can be putting up for elimination right now, and you choose the team who you decided to put focus on in the episode. And very predictably, Madge gets eliminated. You know, Madge, the one that's supposed to get development from this story. And when you eliminate the person who's trying to get development, the other person who's involved in it has to find something else to do, because she still hasn't seen Madge grow as a person. She hasn't seen her like mature or develop into someone that she can actually be friends with. So you have to find her something else to do. And what they decide to do is have her apologize to everyone who does anything wrong to her, which is annoying. And then they quickly drop that and then proceed to do nothing with her in post-split. Sure, they set stuff up with her and Leafy, set up stuff with her like not having any friends, but they don't do anything with that. In the episode before she gets eliminated, she literally dies immediately, and she gets removed for like 3/4 of the episode, which is just baffling to me. Because how do you decide to, how can you possibly think that it's a good idea to have this former finalist just do nothing? Nothing! You set up so much for her. You do nothing with any of those. For all 3 of the things they could have done with her, they didn't do anything with that, because I'm being real here. I think it's just being lazy. It's just genuinely lazy what they did with Bubble, because they didn't do anything with her. As for Madge, all we've gone with her is Teapot 11, an episode which, I need to reiterate, is an episode I don't like, because they just don't really characterize anyone in a way that's really engaging or entertaining for me. Sure, you have her talking to new characters with Lai and Stapy, but she doesn't have any character-defining moments in that episode, nor does anyone for me, in fact. And this is highlighted by the fact that she got the second to least amount of votes in the rejoin. People do not care about her that much. She got less votes than Roboti. Like, just imagine this for a second, right? Imagine that, but like in BFB 11, Iance wasn't put up for elimination, and Madge and Bubble got to join either BFB or Teapot. I want to emphasize that both of them should join the same season, because they have a dynamic with each other. They have a story they need to settle up. And I know that in BFB, it probably wouldn't have been written amazingly, and in Teapot, they'd have to survive until, like, Teapot, 9 or 10 in order for it to work out for them. But just, I feel like it just at least would have given them something to do, because Madge hasn't had anything to do for 5 years, and Bubble Bubble has been wasted. Now, I just want to say that obviously they do have Teapot going for them, whatever they decide to do there. I hope they do it well. And also, in the future, we will have IDFB to also do stuff with Match, and maybe also Bubble. So, here's just fingers crossed. I really would like to see them resolve Match and Bubble's story with each other, because it's just such wasted potential, and I can't really see the scene in BFB 11 as a really good scene because of just them putting Iance up for elimination and having Match get eliminated. Because then it just highlights the main problem with these characters, where they just haven't had anything to do, any good story, any meaningful moments they could have had with each other are just feel like a dream now, because they haven't done anything with them. So here's hoping that they do have something good to do with them. Anyways, that's gonna be it for the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry if it seemed like I'm yapping a lot, especially with Bubble and Match. I just really want to like these characters, you know, that's as simple as. I don't really plan on doing much other BFDI content in the future. Maybe I will, probably in reaction videos. I know I missed BFDI 20. I liked the episode. I liked both Coiny and Pin because I like both of them. If you want to comment on anything I said, feel free to say so in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing because it'd be nice, I suppose. And yeah, that's it. Bye bye.